Okay, so I'll just create some thread demo projects. Thread demo. Then I'll create a class. Print numbers class. Print numbers. Then I print numbers. I'll just give it a static method. So public static print public static void print nums. It doesn't take anything. It will just print some numbers randomly. So maybe I just print it from 1 to 10. Or you create an array of names. So I'll create an array. So string names is equal to this. Then I'll just start prints, comma, cobbler, comma, comla, comma, kobe, comma, kwabena, comma, nana kwabena, comma, let me just break it, nanayo, comma, Gary, comma, Hanson, Eddie, another prince, Farouk, Alaji, Baba, Jude. I just want to display these names. And we talked about enhanced for loop. So I've just created an array of some names. Then I'll use the enhanced for loop to look through this array and display the content. So the enhanced for loop for, I'm expecting a what? A string. So string name colon, the name of the array. So the name is names. Then as I get the name, I'll just append something and display it. So I'll just sys out you are plus name plus you are this plus in class. I won't put anything there. Dot in class. So you are something in class. So I'll just display the content of this. Now let me test this class. To test it is very simple. I can just create a public static void main for it. Or I can just decide to so I've created a print numbers or print names class. So let me just change it to the names. So print names. This one just print the name. So let's test whether it works. Oh, I didn't create a package. So I'll create another class. I'll call it my test. I'll give it public static void main. Finish. Then here I'll just say new or I don't even new. I don't need new because the method is what? Static. So I'll just use the class name. Print numbers dot print names. So I just call this method, runs it. Okay. So it prints, you are prints in class, you are this in class, you are this. So it takes all the names and append the what? The format to it and displays the content using the enhanced for loop in the array. So that's what we just done. We created an array using the initializer list, pass it the data. At runtime, the compiler will count the number of elements in the array. Then I'm just displaying it. Display using enhanced for loop. So display using enhanced for loop. Then from these days, when you are anytime you are coding, I want you to be commenting it. So use the Java doc type comment slash this. So when it starts with 2 you can add at params none. It doesn't take any parameter. Then at return type, it returns none. Then at control space, author name, fee, my name is already there. At category, okay. So maybe method to test arrays and enhance for loop. So I've given it a documentation. When I come here, control space, I put the cursor on it. You can see whatever I just wrote there came. The parameters none, returns none, author, fee, method to test what? Arrays and enhance for loop. So that's the Java doc. So you document your method. Then anyway you are using it, you know what it does, so that you don't forget what that method is doing. So before you write any method, make sure you start with this: the parameter, the return type, the author. There are more. Let me see the other author category. Let me just add some displays. Save it. The same when I come here, control space. So category displays or something. So you just play with it, play with the doc type. So now I've created this method to display these names. So I'll create a thread class. Now let me put these guys in a package. Okay. Let me create a thread class. I can, the normal way, if I want to print these numbers, yeah, let me just let this number be. So I'll create a normal thread class, print thread one, print thread one. Then since the thread class, and I want to go by the first approach, I must what? Extend the what? The thread class. So I'll just press enter from the browse thread, and you see that what? The thread is coming from what? Java.lang package. So I'll select that one, enter. Then it doesn't have a package, so I'll just give it a package. So com.trace. Then I'll move the other guys there. So I've moved them to that package. Now this thread one, it has already what? Extended the what? The thread. And if it extends, I don't know the actual implementation of the thread, but if it extends, I said yesterday, for the normal thread, you will not be asked to what? Override the what? The run method. So this tells that the class is either not what? An abstract. If it's an abstract class, we have been forced to what? Override that method. Or it could be an abstract class that don't have those methods as an abstract. So you must override the run method. So you just type run control space. You can see run override the method in the thread class. I press enter. So let me document this guy too. So at return none, at params none, then at I'm not yet used. No, let me just bring that one before it. The purpose used to start, used to call the start method of the thread class. The thread is capital T. So this is used to call the start method of the thread class. So this is the function of this. Now, and must contain the code that you want the thread to what? Run for you. Run or handle for you. So I'll save this guy. Then this is what I'll do. I'll not call the super.run. I'll call the what? This method I just created here. So I'll call the print numbers dot what? Dot print names. So print or the run is just, anytime you go by the first approach, you must extend the what? The thread class. And once you're extending the thread class, you must override the run method. It's not compulsory. So this tells you that this is not coming from an abstract class. But since you have decided to go by thread approach, you must override it in your class. So I type run, control space, it will come. I know the thread has a run method, which will contain the code I want to run on the thread. Enter. Then this will come. Then I was just documenting it. I remove the super. Then I call my print numbers dot what? Print names method here. So this will be printing the names for me. And you have a method, or let me just simulate this small. I can, when I print one name, I want to sleep the names for some time so that it will look like something is running simultaneously. So I can call the main thread class thread dot sleep. It has a sleep method. Then you specify the length. 1000 means like 10 seconds. And now you all know exceptions. So you must put this guy in. Either what? Surround with try catch, or if you don't want to handle it, you throw it up. I want to handle it, so I'll just surround with a try catch. So I just added one line. Thread dot sleep after the system dot out in the enhance for loop. So that anytime I run this, it will sleep for some time. Let me just demonstrate it. I still have this code here. When I run it, you see that it prints, then wait for some time. It sleeps, it's just sleeping. The normal sleep that you know. So that's it. So it's done. When it's done, it gets off the thread. When it's this one as it's running, it is running on the what? The main thread. So I can just, to know that, let me get a thread ID. So I want to get the ID of the current thread. Here, I'm just checking. I want to know which thread is running. So within the main method, I've given you get the current thread. Then within the print numbers too, I want to do the same thing. Here, outside the for loop, I want to do it outside the enhance for loop. Thread dot current thread dot get ID. Okay, I'm not displaying it, so I'll not see it. So let me sys out it. If I don't display it, I won't see it. So sys out this. Let me copy the same code and come here so that I'll know which thread is working at a time. I run the same code. Print, waiting for the thread ID. So the ID is what? 1, 1. In the print class, there's no main method. So anytime it is run, it will run on the what? The main thread, what? Thread. So the thread ID is what? 1. Now we've now created our own thread class. And we are calling this guy here. So in order to not to delete any code, I'll create another test class. So test thread 1. Thread 1. I'll give a public static void main, finish it. Then here we said to start a thread or to use a thread, use the start method, not the what? The run method. The start will call the run and add some functionality to it. So you don't call the run straight away. So here, if it's a normal thread, like our case here, print thread 1. This is a normal class, which extends what? The thread. I hope you are doing it. Okay, then let's. So I'm creating an instance of the what? The thread. So print thread 1. I create an instance. Let me just name it 1 is equal to. This is a normal class, so new p thread 1. Then after creating it to start it, since this thread 1 is now a thread, I can just say 1 dot what? Start. Then it will start the thread for me. So when I start it from here, it will call the start method and we'll be getting the same listen. But I want us to get the thread the thread ID here. So I've placed the thread ID here too, so that we know the number of what thread ID is there. Even this one, it will return me the main one. Let me put it will still get me different values. So I'll run this code, just this code. First, it print the thread ID of what? 1 from the print method. Then let's see the second thread ID that we get. After it's done, it prints what? Thread ID of what? 9. So this tells us that we have 1 and what? 9. This 1 is called in the main thread, and this 9 is the one we created. So ours is having an ID of what? 9. So you are running on 2 separate threads. So you can do different things at different lines.